Okay, it's a beautiful morning in the city of Lagos. Yes, today is the 22nd day in the month of July. It's Monday. Yes, the roads are a bit free. Okay, welcome to Family and Values on Galaxy Television, where we are reaching out for the stars. Yes, thank you for being our guest this morning on the show. We really appreciate. My name is Joy Abu. Okay, let me put the Princess Joy Abu. How has your weekend been? Well, mine has been a bit restful. Yeah, had one or two run around, but then it was calm for me. Yes, the holidays are here finally, just 2 weeks before the summer holiday begins for the kids who will be doing summer. How well have you instilled those safety rules that we have talked about on the show last week? How well are you putting into context so many things that you know that can be harmful to the kids? Like we used to say, take away all those things that you know will cause emergency injuries at home. Please, we do not want you to be running helter-skelter searching for your kids or looking for how to take them to the hospital due to one accident, home accident or the other. All right, today I want to briefly talk about gratefulness, a heart of gratitude. Yes, it's important we teach our kids to be grateful for life, grateful for provision, because there is a lot and people are struggling a whole lot. But a bit of thank you, a bit of okay, yes, thank you for being grateful for everything. When somebody gives you something, you should say thank you. You should appreciate. That's the essence. And when you teach your kids this, they grow with it. They understand the habit of saying thank you, and that translates into being a grateful person in adulthood. Okay, enough of it. I'm not on the show alone because I have the beautiful Lori in the building. Yeah, I don't want to do the introduction. Let her introduce herself. I know her weekend was wonderful. Yes, we saw it. And she's looking all glamorous this morning. Good morning.
I'm looking all glamorous.
Yeah.
Because when you have all these big and you make it look like this person does like that. So it's a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it is.
And my weekend was splendid. It was great. Shout out to all the good meals we made.
I saw it, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Well, the weather, the atmosphere, the guests, and everything went well. So I just want to appreciate God for that. And I was able to rest finally.
Okay.
Everything aside, even on the platform, everything aside, and I just wanted to take that rest so that I would look, cool, calm, and collected for this morning. So a bit of shout out to everyone out there. We love you. We appreciate the fact that you always stay tuned to Galaxy Television. The program is for Family and Values, like you heard. It's all about what we have left undone, what we have decided to ignore, because we are working in the 21st century. No, there are ways we can actually implement them and make them be the way it should be without losing any tiny bit of those values. They are very important, not just for us, but for our future. The future we are building, we are growing, we are reading, we are allowing to grow. So on that note, I want to say my name is Remy Olori Abijoke David. My friends call me Olori AJ. A big shout out to Bukola Atundaria. She have another year today. Oh yes, Dickiness Neka, okay, happy birthday to you too. Many more fulfilling New Years and many more who are celebrating today. We love you, we appreciate you. And all you just need to do is join us on our social media platform. Very, very important. Please, because we don't want this to just go by the air. We want you to be able to share. You have learned something. So it would be good for you to also share with someone you love so much, someone close to you, someone you don't want to start assuming or concluding about that relationship or about that thing that you have been doing, your friend. Share, please. We need as many shares as possible to keep these values in our families, in our homes, a great nation at the end of the day. So welcome.
Yes, welcome to the show. It's been a restful weekend anyway, yes. because I saw you. But I'm glad you're now resting. Yes, of course, the children weekend was always the shouting and
no, get ready for more.
Well, I'm prepared. It's just for those parents that I'm not mentally prepared them, because for me I'm mentally prepared for all the shouting and all the screaming.
If you want to shout.
Yeah, that's if you want to shout.
You have something.
Like I can't wait for him to come up again.
Because he will tell you there are ways you can actually, make these children to be at peace.
Yes, at peace.
Enjoy yourself even while they're on holidays. And they will be in the house. You just imagine, are these children
really in the house?
So you have something.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, on that note, let's go on our mini feature, because today's topic is one that is needed. We need to talk about it. It's something very important. We really need to talk about today's topic. And when we come back, our guest is already on standby to join us via Zoom. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, welcome back. Yes, you were just listening to our mini feature, and today we are discussing raising firstborns in homes. Why did we choose this topic, firstborns? Even in churches, they'll say, all the firstborns, stand up, let's pray for you. If you're the firstborn child, the firstborn male, the firstborn female, everything first. It's like the forces that are fighting the firstborns are just coming from everywhere. And we said, no, let's put our searchlight of family and values into this topic, and let's know what is really happening around it. Or we have someone who has been trained, who is versatile in this angle about parenting kids, and he has a wealth of knowledge to share with us. He is an author and also a parental coach. Of course, he's not new to the house, but he'll be joining us via Zoom all the way from Ibadan. Let's welcome Remy Lawa. Good morning. Look at him all seated white, cool and calm. But when he starts throwing the tantrums, all the parents will sit up. Good morning to you. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning? It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see him anyway.
Okay, so how is Badon? How is the weather, the atmosphere, the environment?
Try and do this thing of not just that, not like Badon. That's the thing that I'm calling from Canada.
Okay. Okay, yes. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning. Yes, so we will be discussing raising firstborns in homes. Now, I want to start my question is, why is there so much pressure on firstborns? Why do we have a lot of pressure on firstborns in the family? Why is it like that? Is there any specific reason for it? Why?
Well, I think that we all got this idea from giving chance to the law of first motion, which is Adam, because we had Eve as the first human created. So that's where the ideology of firstborn came from. In all honesty, I don't think there's anything peculiar about the firstborn, other than the fact that they are the icebreakers for each family. And whatever first child goes for all the children, because every child will have it on who the parents are. So I listened to what you played earlier, when it talked about them being introverted. So my question is that an empirical assertion? Is there a research or that all firstborns are, most female firstborns introverted? I could tend to agree with that, because I've worked with a large number of people. Some of them are firstborn, and like I said, that I do not have that record of most of them who are females being introverted. So introvertedness, sometimes from the parenting style children get, but we're not going to deviate into that. So what I'm saying here now is there's nothing very peculiar about a child being the first born. One of the things I agree with that you said is the fact that by the time they are fully individuated, they act more like adults because they deal more with adults. So most of them find it difficult to blend with their younger ones, particularly if there is so much gap between them and the next child. So they hardly see the other child as a child like them. They see that child as a child. That's why you find them, okay, I heard a child say to his parents that there are two men in the house and one girl. And the girl happens to be his mother, while the men happen to be him. And so they get so ingrained as adults, or they grow up as adults with adults, they see themselves as adults. Don't forget that we've always parenting about influencing, and who influences you? The person you see consistent, that's the person that influences you. Except this child goes out there for schooling, that's when the child has an opportunity to mingle with other children. But it's usually difficult for them to pick up the mentality of those other people because they don't spend more time with those ones like they do with their parents at home. Now, another thing is when you're getting into the religion, I said something this.
Network, please allow our guest. Oh god. Okay, he'll be right back. I think he's trying to sort it. Yeah.
To add more to it. Yeah. He's right by saying was right by saying that it depends on how you brought up that child. When they become introverts, it depends on how the parents decided
to train that child.
Mode they have brought up that particular first child. Many of them decide to go into themselves because maybe have a shouting parent, an assisting parent, someone, a mother or father, maybe single parenting that is so troubled as well can affect such a child.
I think from my elder sister's case was because the kind of discipline she received, like
I see the weight of the first-born child. We Africans, sincerely, lots of responsibility and expectation.
Okay. All right. Welcome back.
Hello, Remy. Are you still there? Let's have you back.
Let's have you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We're quite understand.
I think I said this morning that marriage and parenting are both not for graduates, and graduates in this context are not university graduates. They are not for people who get in life. They are for people who are constant students. You will never get to the point where you will have graduated in parenting or have graduated as a married person. You keep learning every day, you keep evolving, you keep making adjustments as you are learning. So, for those who are getting into parenting, one of my advices for them is do not get into it with excitement and do not get into it with but you realize that when you have your child, reality will dawn on you that all of those things you thought you had, they will all be tried. And when they are tried, fatigue will set in. When you begin to lose all of those your good and fantastic ideas, you will lose them. Here is another one. Some of us fantasize with the idea that I want a male child for my first child. And it gets worse when both parents don't agree on the sex they want first. The woman wants a girl child, the man wants a male child, and now they have the opposite. When they have the male, it is opposite for the female. When they have the female, it is opposite for the male. Both of them are going to prevent that child from different perspectives. The man would not know when he's parenting that child as if it's a male, while the female is parenting the other child as if it's a female. It becomes a burden and a pressure on the first child. These are some of the reasons why most first childs are melancholic. They are people who, most of them, struggle with their personal identities. Reason is they had divergent, they had different parental styles, even in the same home. The mother wanted something different, the father wanted something different. The father is parenting from the point of the child he or she wants. The mother is equally parenting from the point of view of the child she wanted. So my quick advice is that please admire the child you've always wanted, but parent the child you have gotten. I would say it again. I admire the child you've always wanted. I admire your vision, but I'm advising you today, parent the child that you have. That's what you have at the moment. So that's my opening remarks.
Okay, parent the child that you have. Okay, Remy, I want to find out. You know that word first. F-I-R-S-T. First. The word first in quotes. F-I-R-S-T. You know, it has a weight. The moment you say it first, even when you are talking about position in class, say first. I say, I'm the first, so you know that word first has a weighty interpretation and meaning and expectation, desire. You know, it has so many things that comes with it. And so when you hear I'm the first born child, hey, and you are still here. Your brother is now in the US. That your sister, she's married though, she has 2 girls already. You are not married. Yes, you are doing well, but you are not doing well the way we want you to do well. Those ones, they are your junior ones, but you are the first. So, can we now say it is compulsory for a firstborn child to always take the lead in a family, in a community? The firstborn, should they take the lead? Is it compulsory? How important is it for them to, you know, as a parenting guide now, we need you to help us in that regard. Is it compulsory they take the first lead in everything in the family when it comes to success, expectation, you know, breaking forth in life? Should they? Is it compulsory that they take the first lead?
All right. I think the second thing I shared this morning is the fact that you are not your title or your position. I will say that 2 more times. I think that I have some firstborn children who are watching and some parents who are equally watching. We are not our position, neither are we our titles. So the fact that you are called the firstborn does not mean that you are the one carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder. Let that sink. So the fact that you have been called the firstborn is just a leadership role. That's not who you are. You must first and foremost, while integrating, identify yourself, accept yourself, so you can be able to dispense yourself appropriately. But in raising the first child, we put so much pressure on them, telling them you're the firstborn, you must this, you know you're the one to do this, you know you're the one that to do that. There's a saying in Igbo language that I'll try and give it a direct translation, that whoever is fit to bury his father, it is not the firstborn that killed him. So whoever has the capacity should bury his father. It is not the firstborn that killed the father. So to put less pressure on the firstborn. Like I said earlier, you are not your role, or you're not your position, or your office. Yeah, that's not who you are. Who you are is inside of you. You need to reach out, search for it, and then become it. Do not accept the pressure that is put on you. We all have our lives to play. And let me say this, that being the firstborn, if you want to accept it as your office, all it means is you should learn leadership. Learn to lead people. It doesn't matter who is succeeding. It is not a title of success. It is just a title by mere death. You were the first to be born into the family. It doesn't determine success. In all honesty, success is not about who was born first. So please hear that and stop putting yourself under undue pressure. I know a family. It was their last born. Yes, I'm saying it today. It was their last born that came to raise the family. The last born. He was the one whose education became faster, while the older ones were waiting for JAMB to treat them well. He got into university. As he was graduating, a company picked him up, and before you knew it, in a year and a half, he became a mid-level manager and became the one who started raising the family. So it's not about the firstborn or the secondborn or thirdborn. It's just about privilege of being born the first. And like you rightly situated earlier, I think that in our churches and in religious organizations, we should reduce the pressure. This idea of calling meetings of firstborn all the time should please reduce. It's putting added pressure on them, highlighting and gaslighting them most of the time, highlighting their failings. Their failings don't define them. Their failings most times and oftentimes come as a result of the pressure that we have put on these people, making them say, why are you there when your younger ones are there? No, their position does not determine where they should be part time. It is their perspective about life, their approach to life, and the learnings they got that has put them where they are, not their position, not their title. So if I don't wake up to my responsibility, my title will not save me. So if you label me a pastor today, if I don't do the right things, I won't succeed. I will still be a pastor, and that's the truth. So I will remain a firstborn, but if I fail to embrace responsibilities as required of me, I will still be a full firstborn. So we should, as a matter of urgency as parents, not put pressure on them, and as firstborn ourselves, not put pressure on ourselves. All we need to do is, can we work ourselves out of that title of the firstborn and say to ourselves, who am I? Let me say this slowly. The first thing you need to do is self-assessment. Who am I? Aside being the firstborn, what am I here for? Aside being the firstborn, aside being the one leading my students, what am I good at? What is that thing I do with so much ease, no matter how much other people criticize it? What is that thing I can start doing for free until I can do it for a fee? I said, what is that thing I can do for free until I start doing it for a fee? Those are the things that will define you, not your title or your position in the family. So let's reduce pressure. As long as you're working from the point of pressure, you will become less productive. If you work from the point of pressure, you will be less productive.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go on our word of mouth, and when we return, we'll still continue the conversation. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. If you're just joining us, you've missed the first part of our conversation, and like we used to say, we are streaming live on social media. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. Go to our YouTube page. You will see this topic. Share this particular topic to your past on your church platform, please, you need to share. Yes, it's important because they need to hear more about this, and share it on your church platforms and let people understand. We have been discussing raising firstborns in home, and trust me, our guests have said a whole lot that you don't want to miss. Okay, welcome back, Miss Remi Lawa. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being there. Okay, I want to ask my question now. Is it the fault of parents, or it's what was passed down to us by generations, or is just the general societal belief that if I have my first child, like they'll say, the one that came out of my loins, the one that opened my womb opener, should automatically be in a place of authority? Now my question is, where did we get it wrong? Where did we come to that place of the firstborn must, I do it a lot. I'll tell my daughter, don't you know you're the firstborn? You should, let your younger ones, follow your footsteps. And I'm doing that because I feel like she's the first automatically. Now my question is, was it passed down to generations, or is just a societal mentality, or where did we get it wrong? Because we're really trying to change a lot of parenting mentality this period so that we would raise proper kids. So that's my question. Where did we get it wrong? Are we operating what was passed down to us, or is just the general societal mentality that because you're the first, you should just take the lead automatically? At what point did we get it wrong? Thank you.
Back from the beginning, I told you it was an academic thing. Because Adam came, he failed, is the reason why I believe that churches organize that event for firstborn, because Adam failed. And we all forgot one thing, that the day Adam was born, he was already a full-fledged man who never had the opportunity to individuate. So he never learned anything from anybody. Now, the quickest way to raise a firstborn, it's not by listening to what the society says. Like I tell people, family is not just the fact that there is a father, there is a mother, and there are children. No, family is a system. Family is a structure where values and boundaries abound. This is one definition a lot of us don't get, and you can't get this definition in schools, because in school they will tell you that a family is made up of husband,
father,
wife,
mother,
and
children. Yeah.
But family is beyond that. Family is a system, a structure where values and boundaries abound. It will shock you today to know that most families do not have structures, they don't have systems, they don't have boundaries, neither do they know their values, and yet they shout the children down. Children exist in a place where they don't know what the system is, they don't know what the structure is, they don't know what the boundaries are, they don't know what the values are, so they are bound to behave anyhow. They say where there are no laws, there are no offenses. The word of God created to be a prototype for us. There are systems, there are structures, there are boundaries, and there are values here on earth. Nobody uses scale to tell the rain when to fall. Nobody uses scale to tell the sun when to shine. You don't go to tell the sea where to stay and where not to stay. So when you put structures in place before you start having children, it becomes a walk in the park for us. But we are still running the system of as it was in the beginning, so shall it be, world without end. And that's why the world is where it is today. We have not learned so much. There is nowhere it is written that the firstborn must be the most successful. No, please, can we just jettison that? The fact that the firstborn is not doing well does not mean we're going to kill the rest. No. When they were looking for king in the house of Jesse, They taught the well stature, the oldest,
That's it.
the last born. Because he didn't look like it. He turned out to be the one that brought the glory of the family. That does not mean that the other children did not exist. No. Joseph today was the one who sustained the family, but he is not, or he was not the firstborn. He sustained the family for that era. But are you aware that his name did not go beyond that part? Today we remember Judah more than we remember Joseph.
Okay, let me go with this now. Don't let me stress about that. But you know, like I said, I will still emphasize on the fact that we are Africans, and we started with parents who always want heat, thorough heat only. When I mean heat, a lot of pressure. Just like you said, they should stop. What do we now do? How do we now let the parents understand that, because it's the family values, the values is that me, you know, as a first child, carry the whole hair. Now you are telling us that it doesn't have to be that way and with so much pressure. It's not, it cannot come that way, but we should not emphasize and make it look so heavy on that first child. Now, how do we now bring it to the understanding of parents who are watching us right now, okay, who are in this belief that, whether you like it or not, by fire, by force. Some of them, like you said, you heard that some of them becomes introverts, and I was sharing with Joy when the network was met the other time. I said the reason why some of them are introverts is because maybe they have narcissistic parents, or they grew up with a single mother or father who believes that I have failed, you must not fail as a force in your father's house, from your mother's house, you know you are not there or something, you must not, or you are coming from a polygamous family. So how do we enlighten this kind of parents? I tell you, if we should open, somebody told me you have to go and write a story. I showed the person a picture of myself when I was young, and you have to write something about this picture I'm looking at. You just have to. So it goes a long way. How do we open the hearts of this type of parents to the understanding of what you are just opening to us right now?
All right. The first thing I need to think is, how we bring this fold of African and Africa thing. We are here to influence the world. The Bible says, your light so shines that the world is what that Africa may see. So this is how we are in Africa, is a myth. I love the African culture. I uphold the African culture, but I also want us to be global children. The world is gone global. The world is no longer African in nature. Other side. So, if you do what I said earlier, as a parent, all your children will succeed at their own level. All of them minus none. Let there be structures, let there be system, let there be boundaries, let there be values. All the children born in that family will succeed. I'm sure all of you must have family. We are from the first to the last born are all successful. They will not be equally successful in terms of measure, but they are all successful because that family held on to certain things, certain principles. Now, let me go into a bit of a lecture. You see, we have believed that children were born with 20% of nature, meaning they are instinctive. They know where the breast milk comes from. They know what it does for them. They learn. Nobody taught them to cry. Nobody taught them to cook. Nobody taught them to pee. You understand? So that's 20%. But so 80% of nurture is what makes a child. 80% of nurture is what makes a child, and nurture is transferred. Nurture is adopted from the parents and then from your environment. That's what makes the child, and that's what determines how successful a child is. So it is not the position of the child that determines what the child succeeds to be. And I like what you said, Olori, that if a child has narcissist parents, the child would most likely have deficiency and trauma imprints. That is very correct. You're speaking like a coach now. So the thing is, transfer as an upbringing to our children. Like I would always tell people, do you know that this thing we call love language? Love language is that you're looking for what you didn't get as a child. You're looking for it in your husband or wife. You're not loved by your parents. So you're not looking for a husband that will care for you and love you. The challenge here is you don't know what love is. So you're looking for what you don't know what it looks like. That's exactly how you're going to raise your children, because you're loving them based on your myopia and little knowledge of what love is. So when they grow up, they will equally be looking for what they do not know how it looks like. So what we do with children is that we transfer ourselves into them. That was what Abraham did to his son Isaac when he asked his wife to lie. Even though that was not a lie, Sarah was Abraham's sister, just like Isaac's wife Rebekah was his sister. So it wasn't a lie, but in our eyes, we were expecting them to admit that at this point you're no longer my sister, you're my wife. But it was the same thing Abraham did, that he transferred to his son. That when there is famine in the land, go to another land. Isaac wanted to repeat the same thing until God had to intercept. If God hadn't intercepted, Jacob would have done the same thing. Until today, all of us will be doing the same thing. But incidentally, we've reverted to that now. That's why we brought back Japa. So we're living where it is not working. Instead of asking how we can make it work, all of us are going to where it is working, forgetting that we'll get there and bring our mentality of not making it work and to destroy it there. And that's not the conversation. So what I'm saying is, for these children, for parents who have adopted this thing without questioning it, it is not meant to be so. All your children are the same from first to the last. They have skin, they have soul, they have bodies. The firstborn does not have two spirits, while the rest have one. All of them are equal in measure. It is your nurturing as a parent that will determine how they succeed in life, not their position. I will say that again. It is your nurturing as a parent that will determine how successful your children turn out in life, not their positioning. So stop putting pressure on the first or reducing the work or expectations of the last one because it's the last one. That's the problem. We expect the last one to relax, rest, while the first one does all the work. Don't you know that you're teaching the last one to be, while you're telling the first one that love is a mixture of some level of wickedness and rigidity?
Okay, now yes, you have. But as we are about rounding up, I want to ask. I was talking to Lori while the network. I said my elder sister happened to be so conservative, and but simply because of the way she was disciplined growing up. So the discipline her in such a way that being the first, she lost her essence. She's so much an introvert, and now all of us are trying to pull her, come out, but that has gotten to her. But my question is, for all those firstborns who have found themselves in this situation and are now trying to find their identity, what are those steps? What should they do? What are those first, especially for where they've talked down on the firstborn in front of the younger ones? You know, we've had stories where people go for family meeting and they say they shut the person up simply because he's not financially okay. You know, the younger ones will start insulting, and they are going through, and then they start dealing with mental issues. What's your advice to set of firstborns that have found themselves in this one are still trying, still fighting, to show that position of I'm the first, let me struggle, let me study. What's your final advice to them as we round up the show?
I think this is the reacting again. I said this earlier that the first thing is to walk away from that position and that of title of I am the firstborn. Let them do what I call self-assessment. Self-assessment means who am I? Why am I here? Beyond being the firstborn. What else can I do beyond being the firstborn? What is that thing I am good at beyond being the firstborn? What is that thing I can do with ease without beyond being the firstborn? And what is that thing I can do for free until I begin to do it for free? If you can answer this question as a firstborn, believe me, it's just a matter of time. In the next 1 year, if you think you want to be asserted or affirmed as a firstborn because you have money, you will have it. And if you think you want that position to be affirmed because you have office, believe me, it will happen. But the first thing you need to do is to identify yourself beyond your position as the firstborn. So this is the process. And lastly, for us as parents, may I plead with us to understand that children came from us, but not mean they have our identity. I don't know how to do it so that we understand it. That I gave birth to a child does not mean the child has my identity. The best is that the child has my name, which is not his choice. It was something that was forced on him. So let us identify the fact that I have a child. We become two different identities. And it is my responsibility to respect my son's identity or my daughter's identity. My job as a parent is to help that child structure that identity properly until it becomes a brand. Can we just stop wanting our children to live the life we did not live? I'm sure I'll be sounding like a broken record right now. Let's stop forcing our children to live the life that we did not live. Your child cannot become who you did not become because your child was not created to become the person you failed to become. You cannot find fulfillment. It's not a curse. You cannot find your personal fulfillment in your children. You will find your personal fulfillment in yourself as a person. Your children will find their own fulfillment in themselves. Which will hurt everybody, and I'm sorry if I'm hurting you. The truth will always hurt. You can never, I say it again, you can never stop praying to have fulfillment in your children. You cannot find personal fulfillment in your children. You will find personal fulfillment in yourself. Your children will find their own fulfillment in themselves. So the fact that I am the president of this country does not put any pressure on my son. So we must separate the two offices. My son is my son. That is his office. I am the one who is the president. That is my office. So my son should not be weighed on how he must behave. So if my son misbehaves, that does not tamper with my office as the president of the country. And my son should not be made to become president.
We have to run now.
Because his father is the president. So let us separate the two identities so that we don't put children.
Thank you so much for being part of our live program this morning. It's so interesting. Anytime you're on, I wish we have more time to spend with you. Thank you so much, Remy. We wish you the very best of today and a splendid week ahead. Okay, so we've been talking about raising a firstborn child in our homes. You've heard it. We need to be cautious, and also it is what you nurture that you get in our children. It's not about the position, who comes first. No, all you do is to make sure that as a parent, as a father, as a mother, you nurture them well. You give them the good life and upbringing. inside and outside and bring the stability that we want in our children so they can become successful as they come. And I pray that this will work well for us even as we go into this week. My name is Remain Olura Adejoke. Hope to see you tomorrow. Have a splendid day ahead of you.
Okay, yes, if you've not taken anything in all that our guests have said, he has said it, stop letting your children, stop wanting your children to live the life that you never lived. Okay, so on that note, tomorrow is Tuesday and we'll be discussing single parenting by choice. Is it good or bad? Now we hear from our guests tomorrow. For those who have decided I want to become a single parent, we'll look at it from the good aspect and also from the bad aspect, and so we'll have a balance to that conversation tomorrow. Thank you for being a part of Family and Values this morning. We love you. My name still remains Joy Abu. Okay, Princess Joy Abu, have a splendid Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.